Hi everyone. So I'm Elizabeth Spike. The story I've chosen is The Legend of White Buffalo Woman. So as you can tell on the cover, this is an Indigenous children's book. Um, these are our first teachings. A lot of these Indigenous books is based off of Indigenous legends, stories, and the first teachings that we give our children as they grow up. So let's get started here. So we have the page. End of the old world. Long, long ago, the Great Spirit made it rain, day after day, and the water rose, covering everything. The people climbed a rocky bridge, left jutting over the flood. Yet even there, the water flowed, and then the four winds blew, and huge waves broke over the rocks, and all the people were swept away and drowned. The nation is born again. At the last moment, an immense eagle swooped out of the sky to save a young woman who was crying for help. She clutched his feet as he carried her to a faraway mountain, which rose out of the water. They married, and she gave birth to twins, a boy and a girl. From that marriage of a woman of the earth and the eagle of the sky, people had a new beginning, and in time grew to become a nation once more. Sadness of war. Many generations passed, and then the people were attacked by enemies. Those houses were burnt, and they were forced to leave their homelands in the forest. They fled to the great open plains, where there were no trees and where the four winds blew eternally across the circle of the world. Every family mourned relatives who have been killed. Those were sad and frightening times. White Buffalo Woman appears. Late in the spring of the year, a group of people were wandering, strangers to the new land. They were tired and hungry and searching for the buffaloes. Early one morning, the leaders told two young men to climb a hill and look out over the country from for the herds. As they came to the top, they were surprised to see a young woman. They were surprised to see a young woman climbing up towards them on the other side, carrying a bundle on her back. She was a stranger, beautiful and also mysterious. One of the young men whispered bad thoughts, but his friend answered no. Get rid of such thoughts. She must be a holy woman. But he would not listen, and at that instant he put his arms around her, lightning flashed, and thunder shocked the hilltop, and rushing clouds hid them. As the wind died, the clouds lifted, and the woman was standing there alone. At her feet were bones, which was all that was left of the foolish young man. The other was so frightened he turned to run. Stay, she called. No harm will come to you. Tell your leader I have something important to give him. Tell him to uh, react council teepee with the buffalo skull altar at the center, and let everyone gather there at dawn tomorrow. Go now. He ran down to the camp as fast as he could and told what had happened. They all wondered who this woman could be. The council teepee was set up just as she had asked. Early the next morning, everyone dressed in their best clothes and gathered inside the great teepee. They were excited, yet in awe of the mysterious woman. As the sun lit up the sky, she appeared walking across the prairie towards the opening in the camp circle. Her breath was like a cloud in the cold morning air. There was quiet. No baby cried. Even the dogs feared to bark. She was singing and thought still far off, her sound was clearly heard. With visible breath I am walking. Towards this nation I walk, and my voice is heard as I walk. With visible breath I am walking. With this red pipe I walk. The beautiful woman carried a pipe. She walked to the place of honor where the leaders, Buffalo standing upright, invited her to sit. He dipped braided sweetgrass into the buffalo horn cup filled with water for her to sip. Sister, we are glad you have come, he said. She thanked him and she said to everyone, Waka Tonka. The Great Spirit told my buffalo people to send me to you today. He has seen your tears. He knows you have always tried to do what is right. So he gives you this pipe. Pray with it, and you will see your prayers rise up to him with the smoke, and you will know he hears you. The pipe will join nations and families together in love and peace. And so from today, your people and my Buffalo Nation will be one family. The Buffalo One told them, when you find a pipe, the spirits of all things will help you send your prayers to the Great Spirit. She took a glowing chip from the fire and lit the pipe. She offered smoke to the sky and to the earth and to the four winds, and thanks of all the good things which they gave. She handed the pipe to the person on her left, and it went from hand to hand around in a circle, and children touched it as it passed. When the pipe had completed the circle, she leaned it against a buffalo skull. She told them, in time, all of you will have a pipe. Carry it always, and the Great Spirit will help you on your pathway through life. She said to Buffalo standing upright, look after this pipe, and it will guide you, your people, to the end of the world. Turning to the people, she said, pray always, look for what is good and true. And now I have finished what I was sent to do. I will always remember you, and in time I will return. Metauausen, we are all related. She left the council teepee, stopping 3 times to turn and look back at them. When she had passed through the opening in the teepee circle, she turned to the 4th time and sat down. And then everyone was amazed to see the white buffalo calves jump up and run off to join the buffalo herds. Until that moment, nobody had noticed that the buffaloes surrounded the camp. The wonderful woman had brought her Buffalo Nation with her. The Buffalo Path. All is called White Buffalo Woman because she changed into a white buffalo calf. Afterwards, her buffalo people gave the red stone so everyone can make pipes. It happened this way. Buffaloes made pathways as they walked from one grassland to another, this river to that, to and fro. At certain places, the great beasts lived to die down and roll in the dust or mud to stretch their backs. At one of those swallowing places, they uncovered a beautiful red stone. Walking the buffalo path, people found it washed and polished by the winds and rains, a gift from the buffalo people. Blood changed to stone. Nations tell the red stone is the flesh and blood of the people who drowned at the end of the old world. When the waves swept them off the high ridge, they sank and the Great Spirit changed their bodies to stone. All these things which have been told here were born in the imagination of Wakatonka, the Great Spirit. And there you have it. That is the legend of White Buffalo Woman. One of my favorite stories.